Hello lovely people, welcome to the video. My name's Athena, I'm a writer working on my first book whilst homeschooling my two girls and being with them 24/7. I am attempting to do a writing vlog as I work on draft 4 of my fantasy romance. We are doing revisions. I just got out of a whole like half hour of trying arguments between children are just so interesting. It's been a fun 30 minutes of debating and it's just amazing. So, and it was just, the fight started just as I sat down to start working, which is my life. But anyway, it is Thursday, the 25th of September. I am currently working on chapter 30 of my book. Part 1 of the book finishes on chapter 31. So chapter 31 is the last chapter in part 1. I am working on chapters 30 31 together because they are the same scene, just broken into 2 chapters because of the 2 POVs, kind of switching halfway through. Now, I finished chapter 29 yesterday, which had been my goal in yesterday's video, in the previous video. Yes?
My sister literally made me upset because my sister was serving, and of course I really want to have a strawberry sprinkle roll, but she said,
Oh, hello.
Mommy.
Yes.
My sister made me fuse, and now we don't want to, and now we're not happy.
Now you're not happy? You want to try playing customer and server again? No. Okay. You know what? How about we take a break? Lovely. What was I even saying? Ah, yes. So I finished chapter 29 yesterday, and then I had like a little window of time that I did not expect to have later in the day. And I was able to transfer all of my revision notes from my printed draft to my Scrivener document and actually start working on chapter 30 while I was at it. So I am hopping in now. Having started some things, I am gonna start changing some things. My goal for today, it is already 10:45. I've been trying to get started since 10. Story of my life. It's 10:45. I am going to try and get some work done. Maybe check in again around 11:30 to see. My goal for today is to try and at least get through like the first draft kind of edition of these 2 scenes, of these 2 chapters. One scene, not 2 scenes, of this scene, of these 2 chapters. I want to tackle them in that first draft kind of way, just kind of getting down the things that I want to happen and writing them down. Just, first draft style, basically, as I said multiple times at this point. And then I will try and go over it. I think the best way, because I'll have 3 days in between now it's just like the cogs turning, I will tackle them today, first draft of both chapters. And then I can let it go, give myself those 3 days, come back to it on Monday and edit them properly on Monday. That makes perfect sense. Ideally, I could be done with them on Monday and actually start part 2 on Tuesday. But because being realistic, and again, I've tried starting writing since 10. It is 10:45. I think the best would be to be done earlier. But if I'm done by Tuesday, I'll be happy. So I'm gonna get to work on chapter 30 right now. Get some first drafty kind of work done. See how we go by 11:30. 45 minutes, and let's see how we go. So it is 11:30 and I definitely got about 25 to 30 minutes of work done in that 45-minute window. At this point, snacks have been dispensed, crises have been avoided, work has been done. Now, I got quite a bit of the scene, kind of the chapter, like really set out. There is one little part now that I am stuck, but this is the thing though, with revision and writing and parts of it. I want to transfer a certain little part from my FMC's point of view to my MMC's point of view, to the dude's point of view. Okay. So between the two of them, and it's quite like it's an important little detail. It's a little detail, but it's an important little detail. And there is a little bit of it, like a part of it that will be in her POV still, but I want him to notice it because it impacts him slightly differently. And you also know that I've been thinking when my hair's down, because I applied when I need the inspiration, I need to feel like, so I'm a little bit stuck, not completely stuck. I did get a little bit stuck at one point, where I was like, I know how to start, how to go. I don't like the way I started, but once I got started, then I was able to like the rest I do like. So it's just those first 2 lines where I'm kind of like, that's okay. So I am almost done with like the first draftiness of chapter 30. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna incorporate this little passage that's important. It's him noticing something on the sidelines as he's like sparring with her, right? Like they're in the training grounds, they're doing their thing between themselves, their magic and whatnot, and he notices something on the sidelines. I just don't know at which point of like interiority to put that in where it makes sense and it's not like randomly like, oh, he's looking at her and he's all focused on her and then suddenly it's like, oh, squirrel. Not actual squirrel, but I don't want it to be random. I want it to actually flow a bit better. So that's where I'm a bit stuck. I'm probably gonna end up just kind of adding it where I think it should go in a really, again, first drafty way. And hopefully when I go back to it and read the whole chapter, it'll make a bit more sense. So at this point, I'm feeling like I will be done with chapter 30 and tackling chapter 31 within the next probably 10-15 minutes. I don't think it'll take me longer than that to, just decide to kind of let it go for a bit. So it is 11:30. I will definitely be working until 12:30, at which point it's hubby's lunch break. He'll be calling me. I'll be setting up lunch, all the fun stuff. So I have an hour. I don't know how much work I'll get done in that hour, but I have an hour. I'm gonna try and tackle the rest of chapter 30 and then get into chapter 31. Hopefully the next time we chat, I will be working on chapter 31. That's the deal. I want to try and get the first drafts of these 2 chapters done today, so that then when I have to let go for the day, I know that I'll be coming back to it and the time I'll spend away from it will actually be productive, because it means I'm taking space and then I'll be able to read it again and kind of go through it with a fresh POV, fresh. I can't speak. Anyway, so let's do this, shall we? Yes. I'm coming. Quick update, it is 12:30. I am going to go and get lunch going, do all the fun stuff. I finished the first draft versions of the 2 chapters. I'm so happy. There are moments when I feel like I'm not making any progress, like I'm just, it's taking forever and whatnot. And then there are moments when I'm just flying through everything. Anyway, I'm happy with the first draft versions. Happy as first draft versions. I might try and tackle them again after taking a good break for lunch. We'll see. We'll see. Because I feel like I probably will have time after lunch as well. I could jump into setting up the next chapters, like the notes and stuff transfer, but I also, like, in my head, I want to finish part 1 and be like, part 1 is nice and done, and now we're moving on to part 2. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. And my phone is just being annoying right now. I'm gonna go get lunch going and all that fun stuff, and we'll see if we get any more work done for today. Hello lovely people, so it is Monday morning the 29th of September and it has been a long weekend. I'm feeling way more tired than I should. It is 9:15. As I said, it was a long weekend, so actually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we just kind of did a lot of things, and honestly sometimes I feel like we shouldn't be doing so many things because I need one day to just be at home and do nothing. You know? Anyway, technically with the girls, we're kind of doing that today. They asked for they were like, Mom, can we just not do anything and stay in our PJs? And I was like, okay. I do have some homeschool stuff I need to print out. I do have some things I want to do anyway. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. Plus, we get some writing time. Now, where even am I? I actually got a bit of stuff done. Despite the way the weekend was, I was finding little pockets of time, like 10, 15, 20 minutes randomly throughout the day when I was just like, everyone was just kind of doing their own thing. Or like we were kind of in between waiting to leave the house in like half an hour, but like we were all ready and everything was done. And I got stuff done. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's perfectly fine. So where are we right now? I am officially working on chapter 34 today. Chapter 30, 31 are done. So part 1 of the book is done. Chapters, I was working through chapters 32, 33, and 34 because they are the same scene, but they are, and I probably mentioned this before in the same vlog, but well, mom brain, it's been 3 days. But they're the same scene, but they're broken up into 3 chapters. Okay, it's broken up into 3 chapters because it kind of alternates with the POV. Okay. Chapters 32, 33, 34, I managed to get in the first, transfer any notes I might have had, which weren't very much because a lot of rewriting. All notes were transferred, and I actually did a good pass of 32 and 33. So now I just have to do another good pass, and then they're done. Chapter 34 is sitting in front of me with a bunch of notes, a bunch of brainstorming within brackets. Okay, let's talk about brackets for a second. I love brackets right now. They're my new favorite writing tool. Why? Because when I put brackets on a page, I can write anything I want in it. It can be a random brain dump. It can be as zero drafty as it wants. It can be half sentences, broken up words, and just a general idea of what I want to happen. But it's within brackets, so it's fine. And my brain is happy with that. Whilst before, even just typing something down, as if I can't delete it or anything, I don't know why. I can't do that. But in the brackets, I can. I don't know why, but that's okay because we have brackets. So I have a bunch of paragraphs in brackets sitting on my page. The goal for this specific writing session is to get as much of chapter 34 done. To go through all these little brackets and slowly make them into actual first draft, I would say, material. Right. And then I would probably go through it tomorrow, I'm guessing. Because I do want to do chapters 32 and 33 later on, so, you know. Anyway, it is 9:20. I am going to see how much work I can get done. I might set a 10 o'clock thing for me. See how much we can get done until 10, 40 minutes. Because, within that time, snacks will probably be needed and whatnot. So we're going to work until 10 on chapter 34, getting it to draft 1, because it's quite a, I mean, actually, chapter 34, there's a good 50% of it is okay. It's done. It would need line editing, not really. So I think I can comfortably get it done. Because the most rewriting, I think, was the first chapter. The most rewriting. It's entirely blue, practically. Fun times. This is, yeah. Because the second part of the book, before I dive in, is mostly, it's kind of separated into 3 parts itself. Like within the second part, it's the quest part, okay? And they need to find 3 artifacts. So there's artifact number 1, number 2, and number 3. So this is officially like launching into finding the first artifact. So things are happening, and it's the first little chunk. So I'm excited to see how long it will take me to get to that through that first chunk. I don't want to set too many goals. That's what I'm scared of. But I will probably tentatively set goals for October tomorrow. We shall see. Let's get into what we can get done until 10 o'clock, and we'll see how we go. Depending on how these chapters go, yeah.
Mama.
Yes?
I want my keyboard.
You want your keyboard?
No, not that. My piano.
Oh, okay. Grab it. Okay, so it is 10:24. I went 24 minutes over my 10 o'clock time limit, I guess, that I set. Because within those 40 minutes, I probably did like 10 minutes of work, and the rest was spent just walking around. And even technically, I got an hour. Like, it's been an hour since my last update, and I probably did about 20 minutes of work, like actual work. It is what it is. Anyway, that is the reality of it. Still, I'm happy I got through the first draftiness of chapter 34. So I'm happy with that. I'm perfectly happy with that. I did what I said I was going to do. Now, it is 10:30. We're probably gonna go outside in about an hour because it's gonna be like a warmish day, but I don't want to go outside until it's at least closer to 11 when it gets a bit warmer. So until we do that, I think I can safely hop back up to chapter 32 and read over it again and do the second pass to kind of tidy it up, make sure it's all good, and then leave it to the side, and then maybe chapter 33 as well. We'll see. Chapter 32, definitely. Chapter 33 is also hopeful. Chapter 34, so this is the thing. I usually like to give myself at least a day in between like the first drafty version and then kind of rereading it and finally sealing it up. So I don't know what I want to do with chapter 34. I could just jump over to chapter 35 after that and start doing, and I'm talking like I'll have like all the time in the world. I barely managed to do anything at this point. I did more over the weekend in like tiny 10-15 minute spurts than I've done today when I technically would have more time. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, anyway, I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna read chapters 32 and 33, do like that final little pass on them, close them up, they're all good, beta reader ready. Oh my god, even saying that is just, and then I might play around with transferring notes to the next 2-3 chapters, just, you know, because that's easier. Like the next few chapters they're not as heavy, they don't need as much work. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. That is what we are going to do. I don't want to open too many folders here. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to jump into chapters 32 and 33 right now, and then we'll just kind of see how we go. It is 10:30. I'm going to go until 11, hopefully. Technically, I can work until 11:30 at this point before I have to go inside and let the girl, you know, we'll go outside a bit. I'll get lunch going, whatever. We shall see. We shall see. Okay? Okay. Let's do this. They have decided to trim the trees along our road, and they're right outside my window. Fun times. So, quick update before I let you go because the noise is too much. It is 11:15. I did 15 minutes of work at 10:30 and then I got up and did a whole bunch of other stuff. So yay for me. However, chapters 33 and 32 and 33 are done. Sealed, done. We're not talking about them anymore. Chapter 34 still needs an overview, but we will do that probably tomorrow. Probably. Maybe. I might succumb if I have time later in the evening. We'll see. But definitely not now in the morning. I'm just going to tackle as much as I can of like adding notes from my, the noise. So we're going to transfer some notes and see how we go. Okay, so I'm guessing this is going to be the last update for today. Tomorrow's Tuesday. See how we go. At this point, we're sitting at chapters 32, 33 are done. Chapter 34 is waiting for its final pass tomorrow. I have transferred the notes into the document for chapters 36, 37, 35, 36, 37. And I'm probably going to do a couple more chapters for sure, if not more than that. Just transferring the notes, having it all ready to go in there. I find that what has helped me, and what helped me over the weekend basically to actually get work done, was the fact that I had everything set up and that the 10 minutes here and there that I could find to sit down and get work done, I actually was able to get work done. I didn't have to kind of really sift through notes and figure things out. It was all there in front of me. I just kind of went through it and worked on it. So I think I'm gonna definitely just kind of keep going for today as long as I can and just transfer my revision notes from my printed draft to Scrivener and just kind of go from there. And then, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last day of this vlog and see how much we actually get done. It's really fun to me at this point that I wanted to finish part 1 by the 1st of October. And tomorrow's the last day of September and I'm 3 chapters in to part 2. So I'm feeling good about that. I'm feeling very good. See how we go. We'll see how we go. I'm trying not to set goals that are like, just tiny goals, small goals. We're still working towards the 1st of October. That's what we're working towards right now. We'll see how much we get done by then, and then we'll figure it out. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. It is 11 a.m. on Tuesday, and I'm just sitting down to get started. I am tired. So this is the thing. Writing with kids is like, there are so many variables. One of them being they wake up too early and then fall asleep again. And then you fall asleep again. And then you wake up later and you're like super groggy and just, Anyway, what are we doing? Anyway, moving on. Where are we? So, the goals today. I did manage to actually transfer notes all the way up to chapter 39. After that, I think it actually needs a bit more work. So, after chapter 34, after chapter 35 actually, because 34 is just a read through. After chapter 35, there's not too much. It's mostly line editing and a little bit of like interiority here and there. It's not too bad. So I'm kind of like, I don't know how many chapters I can get through. I mean, I don't want to be, every time I'm like, oh yeah, I've picked up a rhythm, I'm going faster, I can do more. I usually regret it because then the next moment it's like, no, you're not gonna do more. So today we're tackling chapter 34, which is simply a reading through of it again, tidying it up, final little touches, closing it, ready to go for beta reading, okay? And then we're gonna tackle chapter 35, which is again like the full, I have notes, I need to integrate a scene into it, there's a little bit of work there, but that's okay. So,
Mama, I can't still find my bouncy ball.
You can't find your bouncy ball. Okay, I will come and help you. Give me one moment. Yes?
What happened for a moment?
It's a moment. Okay, so it is 11:45. I have about 45 minutes until I have to start getting like lunch going and hubby's gonna call and all that fun stuff. I feel very tired. Angel takes to waking up at like 5:30, 6 a.m. in order to say bye to her dad when he goes to work. And then we fall asleep again and then it just demolishes my head. I'm just not doing good today. Anyway, chapter 34 is done, folder shut, all good. I'm moving on to chapter 35. There's a little bit of work to be done in the beginning of it, but the rest is a lot of like add a little reaction here, a bit of sensory or physical kind of reaction, little notes to myself. Really, it's not like little shifts, little things, nothing too big. So I'm kind of thinking, the thing is, nothing too big, but for my brain right now, the way I feel so tired. Yeah, feels like quite the task. I hate, okay, this is the thing with writing. It's that not every day is the same. You don't have the same energy, you don't have the same mood, there's just so many things that could kind of, and as much as I really, really want to work, like there are times when it's just like, oh my gosh, like this, I'm not. Anyway, I'm gonna get some music on, kind of see if I can get myself into it, and we'll see how we go. I mean, I can do the line edit stuff, all the easy little notes I have here, and leave the big stuff for like later or tomorrow. That's the reality of it. I can do that. I have found that when revising, I can actually move to the next chapter and the next chapter and then go back to the previous chapter, and I'm able to move around and not get too ahead of myself and then come back. But I can dance around with 5 or 6 chapters at a time and not feel like I need to go linearly through it. It's rather freeing, I have to say. Because up to this point, I felt like I have to go linearly. I have to go, one step at a time. I've given myself a lot of permission when it comes to this revision. Anyway, I'm not gonna ramble on because there's nothing to ramble on about. I'm very tired. It is what it is. I'm gonna get to work on chapter 35. We're coming up to a bunch of cute fun scenes between the 2 main characters, and I really want to get to them, to be honest. But I would rather be in a better headspace, not so tired when I'm doing them. Unless music and the scenes themselves kind of do it for me. We shall see. I shall update you guys again around 12:30, or maybe, probably 12:20, right before hubby calls me. Let's see what we can get done. I can't speak. Let's see what we can get done in the next 40 minutes. Okay, so it is 12:20. The light behind me, the girls turned it on, but it has not been a productive day. I did get the extra information that I wanted to kind of bring in from the previous scene into the chapter. The words are terrible. I'm gonna have to edit them. The idea is there. The ideas are there. Everything that needs to be there is there, but it's terrible. Terrible. It's not being a good day. Anyway, I'm hoping that maybe if I have some lunch, I will somehow magically figure things out. I don't know. I need a nap. I think that's the main conclusion. I'm probably just gonna, go tackle lunch. I don't want to tackle anything, to be honest, but I will tackle lunch, and maybe after lunch I'll get something done today. Maybe. I feel like it's just one of those days where I just need to kind of give myself the time to not have to think too much. Anyway, I'll see you after lunch. Let's just do some random brainstorming until I'm interrupted. Okay, so it is officially the 1st of October. It is Wednesday. I have a lot of things to do today, and hubby's not working. He's just gone out for a bit, and then he wants to, like, we're gonna go to a place. Yeah, there's a lot that we're gonna be doing today, which I don't think much writing is gonna get done, and I hate that, but I also have 1,000 things I have to do, and I'm a little bit. But it is the 1st of October. Goals have been hit. My goal had been to be done with part 1 of the book, revision-wise, by today. I am more than that. I have done more than that. The part 1 ended on chapter 31. I officially finished chapters up to 34. So up to chapter 34, it is revised, done, waiting for beta reading. I'm just looking at my Scrivener document. I actually worked on chapter 35 yesterday as well. Yesterday was a bad writing day. My head hurt, I was tired, it was just not going well. But I still managed to finish up chapter 34, to do a first pass of chapter 35, and even start chapter 36. Now, fun fact, chapters 36, 37, 38, and 39, which I have transferred in my written notes, my revision notes have been transferred into the document. They are pretty easy, pretty simple, pretty, I would say, practically line edit kind of stuff, which I don't want to focus too much on them, but there are things where I'm kind of like changing a little line here, a little line there that actually like has to do with the story generally. So I'm doing them so not too much work to be done on them. I was hoping I could tackle them today, like the first pass of them, and then kind of, I don't know what I'll do in the afternoon. Sometimes I surprise myself and I find random 10, 20-minute windows of time where I'm just able to sit down and do a quick chapter. So who knows? Because I said the same thing about last week, like over the 3 days, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday in this vlog, where I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do anything for 3 days. I'm sure of it. And I ended up getting quite a bit of work done. So unplanned work is my best friend. I love planning and I love knowing what I'm doing, but ever since having children, I've realized that that's not as much a thing, especially since we homeschool, especially since we don't have, our structures are different, our routines are different. Fun times. Anyway, I have a bazillion things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end this vlog here. I don't know if it's any good. I have no idea, but I'm still gonna edit and upload it because you're obviously watching it as I'm talking to you. This is hilarious. But anyway, because I told myself I would do it. And I keep saying I'm gonna do writing vlogs, like actual writing vlogs. And if I don't start doing them, even badly, like this, I will never get better at them and actually make progress. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing. That is how it goes. I am hoping, and we will talk about this in the next, hopefully, vlog, not just update, but we'll see. Who knows how this will go. I am hoping to tackle a handful of chapters by the end of this week. Like by Sunday, the end of this week, I am hoping I will have at least tackled the first artifact. Because as we said, part 2 is them looking for 3 artifacts. And so there's 1, 2, 3 artifacts. I'm currently in the midst of finding the first artifact. I want to at least tackle the first artifact by the end of this week, if not more than that. Like, my ideal is finishing revisions by the 15th of October, which is insane. It is insane. But there's not as much work that needs to be done on the second half of the book as there was on the first half. That is reality. That is how my drafts have been throughout this entire process. Even my critique partner is, like, she's flying through scenes and she's kind of like, there's nothing to say. I just need to read through it. So I am going to let you guys go and try and edit this video. And hopefully it's not huge and hopefully it makes sense. We'll see how we go.